Well, we've got a final guest this evening here in Studio VF, and I'm delighted to be joined by Nicolas Namoradze, who is part of the unlimited part of the festival, a sort of boundary-pushing wing, shall we say, of the Verbier Festival. Nicolas, welcome.
Thanks so
you're
much.
a pianist and composer, but you're going to be seen in a slightly different light to just a pianist sitting on stage.
Yes, indeed. It's in fact the premiere of this new project. We're calling it
first outing.
It is the premiere of the neuro recital. We're calling it. So basically, it's a recital. I'll be at the piano playing almost as usual. The extra thing is that we will have a projection on a screen showing what's happening in my brain while I'm playing. I'm not wearing an EEG cap, one of those funny swimming caps with nodes on it, on stage. We've created these visualizations through many repetitions of the recordings, and then we resynchronize this to my live playing in the concert.
But to the sort of initial stages, you do wear one of these.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
it's got covered in lots of little kind of receiver things.
Absolutely, yeah. I look like a bit of an alien if you watch the clips.
I saw a video earlier. You most certainly did look like an alien. So how does it sort of manifest itself on the screen? What would the audience see?
It's this extraordinary visualization created by this team out of the University of California, San Francisco. They're called Neuroscape, and they created this thing called the glass brain. It's the world's most advanced visualization of neural activity. So it's this wonderful see-through brain that lights up, and you see just all the different, basically, highways of neural activity moving through my brain as I play. And the really astonishing thing is that as you listen and watch, you can kind of correlate things. You see how the brain responds to the musical activity, and different pieces of music look different. This was really our hope for the project.
I mean, what was your biggest surprise when you know the very first time you did it?
Well, I mean, there were many surprises. I mean, first of all, it was a grueling process. I mean, we had to do many recordings. I was wearing this very tight cap for 9 hours a day while playing through a 40-minute program over and over again. So the process itself did really push me very far. But, we think of neural activity as a quite abstract thing, but to really see it and see how my brain was responding to the different challenges was really a kind of verification of our hunch, but we couldn't be sure until we would really see it. And we were really amazed also by the correlation of the many repetitions of the same piece. The methodology we used was really effective in showing what my brain is like when playing Bach. It's going to be a little different all the time, but there were commonalities, and that was really important to see just for the science behind the project.
So it comes out as sort of basically a wave form, masses and masses of wave forms.
Masses and masses of waveforms, different waves in different parts of the brain. So different parts of the brain light up for different things while I'm doing this, and at different levels. So you will see certain pieces look much more relaxing in my brain. You can see we've colored the brain waves differently. So you can really see the more relaxed brain waves, the more active brain waves, and the music does look different. When I'm playing something like, Debussy's La Cathédrale Engloutie, this very slow and expansive piece, you see a lot more theta brain waves that's associated with a more relaxed state.
And if you've got a piece of music that suddenly, say, builds up to a climax, does the brain start doing things before you get to that point?
Yes, absolutely. And you can actually see in the front of my brain a kind of planning process going on in the prefrontal cortex. So it's really interesting to see how the brain responds. And you can even see inner parts of my brain, the so-called limbic system, the deep brain, light up for more emotional music. That's the kind of emotional center of the brain. So it's fascinating stuff. And it's the first time I've done something like this. It's really a far out project, so to say. And it was interesting to put myself in a kind of glass box and be observed in this way. So it's quite a surreal experience.
So you've got three composers. So you've got Bach, and you're playing parts of the well-tempered clavier.
Yes.
Debussy preludes and Scriabin piano sonatas.
Yes, we're also adding a bit of Beethoven to the program, and we chose the program carefully so that we would have a variety of speeds, of characters, very free music, very strict music, and just to see how the brain responds to the different situations.
Can't wait.
Should
Now,
be
you've
fun.
had a very sort of peripatetic life. You were born in
Yes.
Tbilisi, you grew up in Budapest, then you studied in Vienna, Florence, and now you're in New York. I mean,
Yes.
how has that sort of impacted on your musical life? I mean, you must have sort of gathered in an awful lot of kind of different informations and languages and cultures.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I consider myself very much a citizen of the world. And I think that it's not an unusual thing these days. I think we move around a lot. Yes, my life has been especially peripatetic, as you say, but I think it's contributed just to the multitude of inspirations and teachers and schools that I've managed to dip my toes into. And it's very much been my ethos with how I approach music making in general, to cast a wide net.
Yeah.
In terms of where I get my inspiration from.
Now, you're not just in Verbier for the neuro recital. You've got
No.
other things. What have you been up to?
Well, I'm on the faculty, back on the faculty this year, teaching piano, teaching some seminars on things like performance psychology. So when I come to Verbier, I wear a lot of hats. You know, I tend to do some interesting things while I'm here. I think that there's a lot of space to explore these kinds of things in a festival. During the regular season, my career is, a lot less varied, I think, than what one ends up doing at a festival where you do a little bit of everything. And I love that atmosphere that Verbier has of experimentation. So, yeah, it'll be fun to teach, to perform, and do lots of things here.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful time.
Thank you so
for
much.
joining us.
It's been a pleasure.